Hello, good morning, my dear business mavericks and entrepreneurs. Frankly, today's session is one of the penultimate session. Yakendra, if you're not tuning in today's session, you're missing out something because today I'm discussing about one of the great strategy which can turn your startup into an industry giant. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ there any queries ಅಥವಾ is there work which gets delayed over and again ಅಥವಾ is there any communication gap which is causing a huge stretch in the work ಅಥವಾ you have a lot of queries in office which gets overlapped again and again, or is there some work which is being explained over and again, still they're not able to proceed it. In fact, that is exactly how it happens majority of the times because of office clutter. Hagidre, can we make something or a solution in a way wherein our office can be much more systematic, our work can be much more creative, our work can be much more dynamic, wherein the communication gap can be fixed? Precisely. This session is all about now ನಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸ್ ನ ಮಚ್ ಮೋರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಮಚ್ ಮೋರ್ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಚ್ ಮೋರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹಿಯರ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಬಟ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಒನ್. ಫಾರ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಗಿವ್ ಅನ್ ಅನೆಕ್ಡೋಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು. ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ lady called as Maya. And now this lady had a company called as Creative Minds. It was a digital marketing and a creative campaign company. However, our office ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಿಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಮಿಸ್ ದ ಡೆಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್. ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಹ್ಯೂಜ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದೆಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ವರ್ ಅನೇಬಲ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವೇರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ದೇ ವರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ದೇ ಟ್ರೈಡ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫೈನಲಿ ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಅ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ದಿರೋದ, how many meetings have we handled? True, but Maya found out that can we do a ordered and a systematic round of meeting wherein these meetings has to be potential enough to make sure we run the show much more confidently. Adike almost 10 different formats of meeting na she identified, and all these meetings were systematically bought in, and now the entire company's communication gap was improved. People were much more organized. People know where the gap existed. ಕ್ವೈರೀಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯಿತು, ಅನ್ನೆಸರಿ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯಿತು, ಮಾಡಿದ ವರ್ಕ್ನ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಬೀಳ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, and a huge change in company, and that made her company made sure that it is much systematic and dynamic. Hagidre, if your office work, if your employees are still running with a chaotic manner, this is a session which you need to listen because we'll be able to change it. What was that tool which Maya used? What were the kinds of meetings which Maya did which helped her to improve her startup into industry giant? ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮೇ ಬಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್. Meetings are something which are very common, which are something which we do it, but can we make it more systematic? How is that we can tune in so that our daily meetings will improve and make sure the office culture also will be improved? So for that, the first kind of meeting which he kept was called as open discussions. As in, it is clearly with no agenda which is started. Yakadan start madlu, she says, when she started about meeting, initially she was clueless what meetings to be started. ಒಂದು ಅಜೆಂಡಾ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಅಜೆಂಡಾ ಕೆಲವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವರು ಒಪ್ಕೊಂತ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ರನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವರ್ ಹೆಸಿಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಶಿ ಡಿಡ್, ಶಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ if in case you are also in the same kind of organization where a lot of challenges are there, first she says start with open discussions. What is open discussion? It's a quick 20-minute discussion on a daily basis, either morning or evening. She preferred ನಿಮ್ದು ಡೈಲಿ ಹಡಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕಿನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೈಲಿ ರುಟೀನ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕಿನ ಮುಂಚೆ ಓಪನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಡೇ, quick, strict 20 minutes. Now, this 20 minutes, when she started, she said, split into 3 formats. Number 1, everyone will get 1 minute each, and each of the department heads will be there, not the entire team. And each department head will come with 1 minute of the talk, and all the department head, depending on yes jana, either 1 to 1.5 minute, they had a talk. And finally, last 5 minutes is the one as an entrepreneur, as a CEO or manager has to talk. So first 15 minutes ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1.5 2 minutes depending of number of HODs ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೆಡ್ಸ್ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, and next another 5 minutes manager ಅಥವಾ employee ಅಥವಾ CEO will conduct the meeting. So in this 20 minutes she kept open. They can say anything in that 1.5 minutes. Prati department head ಬಂದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ he can use it for complaint, he can use it for what went right, he can convey what went wrong, he can convey what are the betterment required, he can convey what is his requirement or the challenge, anything. It's open discussion. So she started with that. She started realizing first 1ರಿಂದ 2 ವಾರ only complaints were being logged on. Everyone started conveying that this is wrong, that is a challenge, I need this, I can't do like that, my team is suffering, and this interdepartmental problem. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ರು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 2 weeks ತನಕ ಬರೀ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 5 minutes she used to only convey about how it can be improved. No, ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ. She said more problems to that. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 15 ನಿಮಿಷ every department heads used to convey problem, and last 5 minutes Maya used to convey much more problems to the existing system. Now what happened, everyone felt that Maya is in line with it, because Maya, if she tries resolving it, ಮತ್ತೆ employer-employee format of confusion ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Maya told, I am a CEO, but still even I had problem, let me also pounce my problem over here ಅಂತ. Even in that open discussion, she conveyed the problem. So every day for next 2 weeks, it was only problems, problems and problems. At a point of time, they realized, now that we all know the problem, one day, one of the employee in the second week end, she took a point and said, Maya, I think there should be some solution, right? Maya told, I don't know, maybe, but I'm looking forward if there's any suggestion which you guys can give it. So it started with one lady, and then one man started, and then the team started discussing solutions for it. And then by next 2 weeks, our complete solutions board bartittu hortu, problem started reducing. Problem was not completely avoided. Problem started reducing. And over a period, the open discussion turned out to be a fruitful meeting. Now that was one of the classic meetings which is started, and then it converted into a brainstorming session. ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಓಪನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್. ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಆಡಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಯು ನೋ ದಟ್ ದ ಟೋಟಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ರೀಚ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದಮೇಲೆ, that is when they'll start thinking what solution can be given. Try this out. So this is one of the formats of the open discussion. And once it clicked, she came out with multiple options of the meeting. And the second meeting which she came out was daily huddle. What is this daily huddle? Is ದಿನ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗಿಂದ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಏನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. Now during the open huddle, I mean daily meeting or the daily huddle ಏನಿತ್ತು, now this went in a different format. So second format of meeting, I want you to make note of it, because ನಿಮ್ಮ organization ಇದನ್ನ implement ಮಾಡಿ, which can definitely help out. So there are 4 things for a daily huddle which you need to do it. Number 1, the organizer. ಪ್ರತಿ ವಾರ ಸಿಇಒನೇ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓವರ್ ಎ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಇಒ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಶೋರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ he runs the show, and then he trains a person, and then the one who's being trained will run the show. So ಈಗ whoever is taking it, either the CEO or the manager who's running it, first he will give an intro talk for just 1 minute, making sure that everyone are present and everything is all set. The second is important, daily huddle ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಿರೋದು. ಇದು ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ you need to run the show first 15 minutes as soon as you begin the show. Now, why is it important first 15 minutes itself? It can be taken in the later hour. No. 2 things can be addressed. Because daily huddle is there, everyone will be on time, because that is a meeting which is mandatorily 9:30 and the 9:30, 10 and 10 compulsory aglebeku. Now what happens, the attendance will become much more scheduled, because our meeting illa anta heladre everyone will take a liberty of coming 5 minutes or 10 minutes later. When you try doing it as a daily huddle, because they want to be part of the meeting, ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಬರಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡನೇದು, ಆನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ the organized way of work will begin. So now what happens in this daily meeting? So 4 things daily meeting alagadu. One, the organizer, whoever runs the show, will give an update about what is the meeting. When everything is set, can we begin? Now first important thing is yesterday's wins and challenges. What is yesterday wins? Andre nenne enen aaytu, adralli enen challenges ittu. Everyone will get chance again, 1 to 1.5 minutes max for every department head. Adikina jaasti sigala. Within that 90 seconds, he needs to convey what was good things which happened yesterday, what were the challenges. I want only the pointers to be discussed, not the detailing. For example, ನಿನ್ನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು there was a discussion, there was a challenge, and he discussed about 10 different things what was going wrong with him ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, I'm not going to discuss all 10 things. If I was a department head, I'll come back and say that we had a client discussion, but client was unhappy. I'll discuss more about it. ಡನ್. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಅನ್ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಅನ್ನೋದಾಗಿದೆ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅನ್ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಡೀಟೇಲಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅವ್ರು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಟಿಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್, ಟಿಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗುಡ್ ವಿಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ಸೊ ನಂಬರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸರ್ ಟಾಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಂಬರ್ 2 ಯೆಸ್ಟರ್ಡೇಸ್ ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್. ನಂಬರ್ 3 ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪ್ರಯಾರಿಟಿ ಏನು. ಆಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ವೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಏನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ದಟ್ 90 seconds ಟು ಕನ್ವೆ ಅಬೌಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ವೆಂಟ್ ರಾಂಗ್ or ವಾಟ್ ವೆಂಟ್ ಗುಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟುಡೇ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೈ ಪ್ರಯಾರಿಟಿ. ಆ ತರ 90 seconds ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ರು ತಗೊಂತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಫೈನಲಿ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ announcing if there's anything which has to be meddled, or if any two department has to involve and work on it, or if there's any order or execution which you need to convey as an organizer, convey ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. So these are the 4 things which you will be doing on a daily huddle. First 15 minutes of a day compulsory it has to run. So what happens, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಪ್ರತಿ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋ ಬೆಟರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಡೀಟೇಲಿಂಗ್ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ 15 minutes, in fact it's also called daily huddle ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಡೀಟೇಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಇದನ್ನ ಡೀಟೇಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದು 15 minutes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಇಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಹೌ corporates run, but unfortunately MSME will not do it. They'll believe that okay, meeting in a main agi, client important, client in a main agi, finance important, will keep running behind that, and because of it the communication gap will continue. So adon break madadukoskarne the second meeting, that is a daily meeting or stand up meeting or daily huddle or routine meeting, whatever you call, has to be taken. The third kind of meeting where Maya suggests is, look, each company or each organization has a format of meeting, but our format of meeting alli one meeting tumba important yavadandre BSM, that is business scalable meeting. It means prati organization once a week, andre weekly meeting alli bekadast nadiyutte, but once a week the important part you need to discuss is how the organization has to scale. ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಲುಕ್. 3 ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಈ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರು. ಒಂದು, ನಮ್ದು ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಬಿಲೀವ್ ದಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ವಾಸ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಈ ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಅ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಲೀಡ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್, ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ನ ನೀವು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಂಬರ್ 2, ಸ್ಕೇಲಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜೀಸ್. Now that you know that company grow ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದಾಗ what are the new strategies which we can bring in. And number 3, most important is what is the amount of resource I need to allocate for me to run this show. So that is resource allocation in business scalable meeting ನಾವು ತಗೊಂತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಈ 3 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ನೀವು business scalable meeting ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ವಾರ ಸಿನ್ಸಿಯರ್ಲಿ ಕೀಪ್ ಇಡಿ. ಮೇ ಬಿ ಫ್ರೈಡೆ ಅಥವಾ ಥರ್ಸ್ಡೇ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೇ, ಎನಿ one day you need to run this show for growth metrics, your scalable strategies, and what is the resource you require, and you need to allocate it. Now what happens in this way, entire organization will start focusing on what is that growth. Again, this runs for exactly 15 minutes and not beyond that. In this way, what happens, in that 15 minutes you'll discuss last week alli namdu growth aita athwa yadar hosa client banta athwa enaru follow up ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ. So what happens, ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂತೀರಾ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ you would have met a lot of them, but you wouldn't even followed up because you forgot about it. So esto clients na because of follow up we are missing out. That is exactly where we call it as follow has a fortune. Unfortunately follow up now miss ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. To make sure all these are being taken up, business scalable meetings are something, a mandate in every week for 15 minutes. So that is the third form of meeting which is suggest have a scalable meeting. But ಕೆಲವು companies ಅಲ್ಲಿ they'll also do something called as sales push meeting, wherein ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲಬಲ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲಬಲ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕೆಲವು ಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ನ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ನ ನಾವು ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ದೆನ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಪುಷ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್. ನಾವು ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಸ್ಕೇಲಬಲ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ವೆಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಗುಡ್, ಬಟ್ ಕೆಲವು ಕಂಪನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವೆನ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಅನೇಬಲ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಇಟ್, ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ as a sales push meeting. In sales push meeting you will be much more aggressive about the strategies what you have decided, the targets which you are supposed to achieve it, and the deals which you are supposed to close. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಾ, ಡೀಲ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಾ, ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾರು ಫಾಲೋ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಂಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಾ, ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ರನ್. ಸೊ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಪುಷ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್, which is a follow. The fourth form of meeting is my form of meeting, which is much more exciting for me. This is called as brainstorming session. Brainstorming sessions is something where you just gather to generate innovative ideas. What happens over here mainly is, ಪ್ರತಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ like the way which we discussed about open discussion go brainstorming session go difference ಏನಂದ್ರೆ open discussions are to understand the challenges, wins, problems, queries and the feedback. But brainstorming session is all about innovative idea. Andre brainstorming session also runs like open discussion. It is free for anyone to talk, anyone to pitch anything. But here the intention is to pitch about the innovative ideas which a person has. Something like an idea bank. Each one has to pitch about their idea which they believe they gathered from their team member, ಅಥವಾ ಅವರಿಂದನೇ ಬಂತ, ಅಥವಾ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂತ, ಅಥವಾ customers ಇಂದ ಬಂತ, vendors ಇಂದ ಬಂತ, doesn't matter. They need to bring in an innovative idea to the table. They need to explain how it works, what are the challenges. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಬೇಕು? A lot of times we believe that only owner or an entrepreneur or a CEO is the one who knows everything anta. No, you need to understand a lot of time the best of the ideas have come out with the least of the expected departments ಅಥವಾ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ವೆಂಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರೋ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಹೇಳಿರೋ ಮಾತು ಅದು ನಿಮ್ ತನಕ ರೀಚೇ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ maybe you wouldn't have even thought about it. So what we do, we need to have 15-minute brainstorming session wherein each person has to pitch about his idea, and whichever idea within 1 minute each person will give idea for 10 minutes, and last 5 minutes whichever idea is being top rated by everyone. For example, I'll pitch about an idea and my friend, my colleague will pitch another idea, another colleague will pitch another idea. ಆ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ 8 ಜನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ನ ಪಿಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಪಿಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ರೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್. ವಿಚ್ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸೈಟಿಂಗ್, ವಿ ಆಲ್ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ರೈಸ್. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಒಂದು ಐಡಿಯಾಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 5 minutes ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಆ 5 minutes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್, ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟೆಡ್, ದೆನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವೀಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟೆಡ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಕೆಲವರು ವೀಕ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವರು ಮಂತ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಷನ್ for a company is a mandate. Yeah, okay. If new innovation doesn't comes into your organization, then over a period you are dead. To make sure your organization is revived and taken ahead for a long shot, it is most important for you to understand these meetings, like innovative meetings or innovation meetings or the brainstorming meeting, will help your organization to be on the radar, or you'll be ahead than your competitor. These are the meetings which can be helpful. So that's the fourth form of meeting which is said that is mandate for you to take it. The fifth form of meeting, again I'll say this is a strategy meeting, where I'll not say all employees are required. This is a meeting where management has to sit, the board of director has to sit, or the team, the partners who has to sit. It might be 2 partners, 5 partners, it might be 8 directors or 9 directors, but board of directors ella kutkondu strategy meeting madlebeku. So this form of meeting is not for employees, this is for management. Idi enak bekide, because every organization has a long term goal. So long term goals enide, hosa trends en bartade, competitive strategies en bartade, competitors yavadral munduk hogtidare, ನಮ್ಮ organization ಏನ್ change ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, because a well planned strategy is like a roadmap for your growth. But unfortunately a lot of them don't have it, because they all have to focus on ambitious goal on kade ಇದೆ, but practically resource available ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆ balance ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, there are challenges for sure, but ಆ challenges address ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ strategy meetings you need to conduct. So the fifth form of meeting which you need to mandatorily run in your organization, but this only for management and not for employee, is strategic meeting you need to take it. The sixth form of meeting is classic meeting, is what we call, because this is exactly the place where we take it as a PRM, that is performance review meeting. A lot of them have a query like, nan organization frequently employees banbitu, they're asking about, can I get a hike, can I get much more better pay, can I jump a company because I'm not getting a salary which I'm expecting. So a lot of them come with this query. So to address this meeting is important. That's called as PRM, performance review meeting. Every organization has to set 3 things: roles and responsibility, KPI, key performance indicator, and PRM, performance review meeting. Idu mooru ನೀವು ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, trust me, never an employee will come back and ask, ನನ್ನ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವ್ರ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಅವ್ರ ಕೀ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟರ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಅದು ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅಂತ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ಓವರ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಹೈಕ್. ಅವ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ಅಂಡರ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಶೋರ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಅನೇಬಲ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಎನಿ ಹೈಕ್. ಆ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಹೈಕ್ goes on negotiation, because of which either employer will be sad or employee will be sad. When will there be a win-win situation? When PRM is run. So this is a meeting which you need to run to make sure that never an employee will come back and crib about it, or you will feel bad that you're paying more about it. So to make sure this is being organizedly run, so make sure you run performance review meeting, and that can help on a long run for you to take it. And this next meeting is not something which I'll suggest for everyone. This is about product development meeting. It is for organization, because product development as a service industry is ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ತರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. I'll not discuss much about it. But where I require next meeting, which is important from my perspective, is FRM. That is ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್. ನಾವು ಯಾವ ತರ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಅಥವಾ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅದೇ ತರ ಎವ್ರಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್, what is that they're overshooting in their budget, what is that they require for further requirement of any of the new implementation which happens, are they profitable, are they performing well. This is a FRM financial review meeting which runs. Idರಲ್ಲಿ financial statements discuss ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, budget discuss ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, expenses discuss ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, performance discuss ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, profitable discuss ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಹೊಸ project ಬಗ್ಗೆ discuss ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. This meeting is again mandate for every organization, because financial review meeting ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, each department's performance and each department's requirement assess ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಅಮೌಂಟೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಬಜೆಟ್ ಓವರ್ ಶೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, 6 months, once a year when we are about to file IT returns, that is when we are trying to go for financial review meeting. But if you're waiting for ITR or some other department to ask you to review and get back with your financial statement, if you're not doing it, then how is that your company organized? How is it your company can be much better? So to make sure you're organized and make sure that your finance is being controlled and managed, every month financial review meeting agbeku. That is when you will know the status of the company, and that's when you'll be able to survive and scale. And next two meetings are again choice, customer feedback meeting and a collaboration meeting. Because these two I'll combine it for a simple reason. Customer feedback meeting is what something your sales team or marketing team has to run that meeting, gather the feedback and put it across to management. This is again important for the reason customers again bekagide na clarity namgilla anta they will not be able to take it. So what we'll do is, one department is assigned specifically to gather the feedback and utilize it as a strategic meeting, because other now strategic meeting al update madre we'll be able to understand what challenges they're facing, should we change something in order to make sure they're happy and satisfied and excited. And the last meeting which Maya is suggesting is, can you have a collaborated and cross-functional meeting? This meeting is to make sure that now competition, and then can we make it collaborative? If at all you can tie up, acquire, merge with one other company, that can be a great collaboration and partnership for you to run the business. So these collaborative meetings are much more helpful for you to run the show and escalate it. So these collaborative meetings are helpful for your organization to take a leapfrog jump. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನು much benefit ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ರನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಇನ್ನು ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಗ್ರೋ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ this collaborative and cross functional meeting are also important. ಕೆಲವು collaborative meeting inter department ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, but ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿರೋ meeting between different companies and organization. In that way you can collaborate and grow faster. So that is exactly where Maya was conveying about how these 10 different meetings help their organization to change it completely. So my dear viewers, actually remember, these are something to explore in much bigger way, because SME ge on the toolbox beku. Everyone needs a skill, and the toolbox for today's business growth is meeting the avoiding communication gap and making sure that you run the show with much confidence and with much strength. So hagidre, whether these meetings can be implemented, definitely yes. Implement madi, then come back with your doubts and clarification. I'll be happy to address that. And again, I would like to sign off this meeting to convey stating that these meetings are something which will make your organization more productive and increase your sales and make sure you are successfully running this business. Well, this is Chantan representing Icebreakers, Nimma Business Doctor. Thank you. And again, I'll come back next week again with the same concept, with the same confidence, and to make sure that can we improve in a much better form. Thank you. Have a good day.